Here we are. We already got one call coming in on the show. You're live on the air, Vols Talk Live. Post-game show after the Vols defeated Mississippi State. So what you doing? What do you think about the game?
Give me a take on that. I couldn't see it. I wasn't watching.
We came out there putting pressure on them. The freshman quarterback throws 2 interceptions in the end zone and then just about gets his neck broke on a play, so they pull him out. So then they go in there with the Garantano, and we went to the running game, and we pretty much had them beat by that point. We just kept running the ball on them. They got a late touchdown, but we beat them 20-10. Pretty good victory, to be honest with you. It looked good for the Vols.
Did they force any fumbles?
Oh, I don't think they forced fumbles, but I think we got 4 turnovers in the game, 4 interceptions or something. So, pretty much a convincing win.
What about penalties? How many penalties Vols get?
Honestly, I don't have a stat on the penalties, but it wasn't too many. We played a pretty clean game, really did. Threw 2 picks. Other than that, it was a pretty solid defeat. And the Georgia Bulldogs went down, so they're out of the picture now. So Tennessee will win the East and probably, I'd say, win the national title at this point. All right, what else going on?
Not much. Just got back in from Hot Cross this morning. Been asleep, so I woke up and missed all football.
All right, well, I'm gonna go back to phones because this thing's lighting up on me. All right.
Hey, can I watch it on live somehow?
Yeah, on the Vols Talk Live. Yeah, Facebook Live. Just go to my Facebook page. Okay. All right. See you. 423-702-6894. 423-702-6894 on the call-in show. It may, let's see, Tennessee may end up with 3 wins this year, according to Stevenson. Well, I hate to tell you, Scott, but the Gators are going down tonight, so they'll play the spoiler role and go ahead and knock off Georgia again, and Tennessee will wind up winning the East and going to the championship game. We'll beat Alabama. I think we're going to beat Alabama pretty easy next week whenever we play them. And, probably I'd say win a national title. It's kind of how it's looking to me so far. 423-702-6894 on the call-in show. 423-702-6894. In this game, we started out with Maurer. He's putting the pressure on him. He winds up throwing a pick in the end zone. I thought, well, he's double covered. What the heck? At least we're sticking it in there. Then we get the ball again to go down there again, and they done the same type of thing, throw an interception in the end zone. So that wasn't too good. And then he on a running play goes running down through there and wound up going head over heels and about broke his neck. So they pulled Maurer out of the game and go to Garantano, and I don't know how many runs in a row we ran football, but I was glad to see that personally because obviously, and we doubled up the run of what Mississippi State could do. We threw for 160 and a touchdown. I think Garantano was 6 out of 7 for 110 yards and a touchdown when he came in. It's pretty good. Let's see. Maurer was, 4 out of 7, maybe 60 yards, threw 2 picks. But we rushed for 200 in this game, and we held them to about 100 yards rushing, which was outstanding. It was a terrific game plan. Hats off to the coaches. They've done a good job. Garantano coming off the bench played really well. He was 6 out of 7, I think, for 110 yards and a touchdown. And, bottom line is the Vols went out there and took care of business. The Vols defense really stepped up today. 423-702-6894. 423-702-6894 on the call-in show. We got, I think we kicked a field goal or something in this game. Wound up, if I look at the stats on it, let's see what it says here. We beat them 7-0 in the first quarter. It was tied 3-3 in the second. We beat them 3-0 in the third quarter, and it was tied 7-7 in the fourth quarter. But we had that 10-point advantage, and that was kind of all she wrote. We ran the football good in this game. I was glad to see the coach as the offensive coordinator going to the run. That was the key to the victory, in my opinion. Chandler rushed for 63. Tim Jordan came in and played really, really good. He was the workhorse today. 19 rushes for 60 yards and a touchdown. Maurer scrambled 3 times for 41. That's about what I thought he would do. They tried to throw a Tennessee flea flicker on him, flipping the ball out to Jennings. He was going to throw it deep, but it was covered, so he took off running with it, got 22 yards. So that was pretty good. Tyler Bird was a big winner on the receiving corps. Glad to see him get back in the game. Got a freshman that got 41-yard catch. Pretty good. Keaton. Jennings, 3 catches for 17 yards. They kind of had him covered up a little bit. Tyler Bird was your big player on the offensive side of the ball in the receiving. We got Toto knocked out at the end of the game with a targeting, and that's going to hurt down in Alabama because he's going to miss the first quarter or first half. I don't know. Somebody might chime in and tell me how that works. Not really exactly sure. Mississippi State in this game had 2 quarterbacks in there playing. One guy was 6 out of 11, 67 yards and 2 picks. They pulled him out, went to the next guy. 5 out of 10, 79 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. So their quarterback position wasn't that great. Schrader was a better player, though, because he ran the football for 62 yards, which I thought was a pretty good effort on his part. But still, we shut down the running game. Their big man, Hill, rushed 11 times for only 13 yards, a 1-yard average. So we stifled their best player on the offensive side running football. And that was the key to the game. That's how the Vols won. 423-702-6894. 423-702-6894 on the call-in show. Give me a call. Tell me your thoughts on it. All I can tell you is a good win for the program. The Georgia Bulldogs go down today. At Athens against the South Carolina team. It was motivated and playing, I think, third-string quarterback. So the Dogs were flat, clearly weren't ready. They're missing kicks. I think the field goal kicker missed a kick that caused them to lose. Georgia needs to fire the coach. I wonder if they can call Mark Richt back. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. They need to call Mark Richt back because, I don't think he would have lost a game like that. Kirby, he ain't got no clue what he's doing down there. So there's disarray at Georgia Bulldogs after they got lucky and won a game at Tennessee. It was really pretty much luck, pure luck on their part that they won that game. So, maybe Georgia Bulldog fans need to make a few phone calls. You know what I mean? I got a feeling, you could buy out Kirby's contract and get Rick back down there and probably have a little bit more sound fundamental coaching. 423-702-6894 on the call-in show. 423-702-6894. I got an open line right now if y'all want to call in and tell me what you thought about it. Otherwise, in the college football scoreboard today, let's take a look and see. I think we got a Oklahoma win today. I think they were up the last time I saw them like 27-20. So let's see what we got here. South Carolina is the big upset of the day. Oklahoma wins 34-27, so they really didn't shut down Texas as bad as I thought they would, but they did win the football game. And if you look at the scoring and stats in that one, Jalen Hurts, 16 out of 28 for 235 and 3 touchdowns, and he rushed 17 times for 131 and a score. So, it's clearly the Heisman Trophy winner, and the best player in the game is Jalen Hurts at Oklahoma. Alabama's up 14-7 on Texas A&M. Clemson's killing Florida State. Let's see. The big game tonight is Florida LSU. I think LSU is going to go ahead and beat those guys. They can score a little bit more than Florida can. That down there at LSU at night game is awfully hard for anybody to handle. So 423-702-6894. 423-702-6894 on the call-in show. We'll sing Rocky Top real quick. Rocky Top will always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top. Woo! Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. So there you go, folks. The Vols on the comeback trail. Clearly, we got the best team in the country. They're just now gelling. Everything's coming together for the team. The defense stepped it up today. Offense scored a couple touchdowns. We had 2 quarterbacks in there productive. One about guy's neck broke, and he had a concussion, so he was out. We rushed the football the way we should be rushing the football all year. And I hope the coaches learn something out of that. I hope that they understand that what we got to do is run this football and establish a run, because we got some guys that can run it. Tim Jordan came in there today and was pounding that ball hard, straightforward. He missed a game or two. They put him on the back burner because he didn't have a good game or two, but then he must have showed up at practice and decided he's going to run football. And now they're giving it to him. I think he got 11 carries today for 60-something yards. So he was kind of the key to the victory. And Tyler Bird makes 3 big offensive receptions. Garantano comes out off the bench 6 out of 7 for a touchdown, 110 yards. That was kind of really, that was a key to the victory. We got our first quarterback hurt. He had thrown 2 interceptions. We could have beat this team, I don't know, at least 34-3, something like that. But we kind of fumbled around with them. But the guys are learning. The guys are doing pretty good. 423-702-6894 on the call-in show. 423-702-6894. Got an open line right now if you want to call me and let me know what you thought about it. I do think it's very, very likely that Tennessee will be ranked in the top 10 after this game, especially like all the other guys are dropping like flies, like Georgia Bulldogs. Clearly, I think they proved today they're the 27th best team in the nation. 423-702-6894, 423-702-6894 on the call-in show, or you can call myself. You know what it is. The Vols taking care of business in this game. I think we showed everybody what we got. We got 110,000 fans in the stadium up there. We got a lot of players coming off the bench, a lot of people participating in the game. Tyler Bird was a big player on the offensive side of the ball with a 40-yard touchdown catch. Garantano came in off the bench as a backup and threw the ball 6 out of 7 for 110 yards and a touchdown, and that was clearly kind of the reason we won the game. Hats off Garantano doing a good job. Hats off Tyler Bird coming back, getting in the game. Hats off Tim Jordan. Here's some guys that hadn't quite played too good so far yet this year, and they played good today. Maurer got hurt, had a concussion, about broke his neck. I'm pretty sure that he may miss next time. We may get a starter at Garantano at the Alabama game. 423-702-6894. 423-702-6894 on the call-in show. Give me a call. Tell me what you think about it. I'm pretty sure the Vols wound up, having their best game of the year today against a pretty tough Mississippi State team who showed up there ready to play, but they made a lot of mistakes. They're not very good at quarterback position. They couldn't run the football, and they really couldn't stop our run, and that was the key to the victory. We ran the football. That's what we needed to do. That's what we need to do in all these games is establish a run, and hopefully that's what the coaches are going to do again. 423-702-6894. 423-702-6894 on the call-in show. I tell you what, let's see here. We got an update, I think, on the Texas game. Where is that at? Yeah, Oklahoma wound up winning that football game 34-27. And if you look at what Texas did on the offensive side of the ball, they threw for 210. They rushed for just barely over 100. So that really is not a lot of offensive production out of Texas, but they put up a lot of points. They had a touchdown pass. Actually, let's see. 3 touchdowns running the football for Texas. So must have got a bunch of field goals. Or actually, it looks like they made a touchdown on defense. Must have had a pick 6 or something like that. Jalen Hurts must have gave one up. I don't know exactly what happened there, but looks like Alabama's in trouble with Texas A&M down there right now. Let's see what the score is on that game. Texas A&M is playing Alabama right now, 14-10. Looks like it's 14-10. Yeah, Alabama is leading that game 14-10. So far, 7 out of 10, 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. What you call it over there is rushing the football for 50 yards so far, and they've thrown it for 100. So Texas A&M moving the ball on them a little bit. Alabama, they're rushing the football okay today, 30, 50, 60 yards rushing so far and 100 yards passing. So that's a kind of a nip and tuck game down there. They're playing in Texas, which, sometimes that can get a little dicey out there. Texas A&M has beaten Alabama 3-0 in the second quarter. They lost the first quarter 14-7. So Butch says he wants to see that telly. Okay. I'll let you see the telly. Okay. There it is. It's a retro vibe. We made that here, Butch, as a matter of fact. It's got Lawlers in it. Aged hardware, aged finish. Pretty good piece. I'll send you one of them. It's like $13.99 with a hard shell case. Okay, 423-702-6894 on the call-in show. 423-702-6894 on the call-in show. We got an open line now. We got the Vols won the game pretty much in dominant fashion. We threw 2 interceptions. Maurer threw 2 interceptions early in the game. Both times we were threatening, knocking on the door, and turned it over down there in the red zone, which I think is Okay, Butch, let me know. I'll send you one, bud. Uh, you know, Maurer's trying to make something happen out there. He threw into double coverage on the first play. He kind of got fooled on that deal. He was trying to throw a fade, and the cornerback backed out and covered, double covered the guy. And, of course, it wound up being an interception, which, throw wasn't too bad. It's just an ill-advised throw. And I think the next time he pretty much done the same thing, tried to throw across his body deep into the end zone, and that was just a bad move on Maurer's part. He's learning. He's learning what to do out there. He ran the football good today. I thought he had the team fired up, and they did pretty good. We rushed the football today, very good for the Tennessee Vols. Had over 200 yards rushing, 160 yards passing. It was a balanced attack, but the best part about it was we ran the football, dominated the clock, took care of business on defense. They could not run. The only person they could run was the quarterback, and I don't think our coach was worried about the quarterback hurting us. So anyway, all in all, it was a dominating victory for the Vols. That puts us 2 wins and 4 losses on the year, I think is what it boils down to. Let's see. Is that right? I think it's 2 wins and 4 losses on the year. Let's see. Yeah. So far, we lost to Georgia State. We lost to BYU. We beat Chattanooga. We lost to Florida. We lost to Georgia. And we beat Mississippi State. So we got 2 wins and 4 losses. I'm pretty sure we're going to win out. I would say we win the East in the SEC. I'd say we're probably going to be in the BCS and win the national title based on what I see today, because the Vols can run the football. 423-702-6894, 423-702-6894 on the call-in show. Got an open line. Give me a call. Tell me what you think about it. I can tell you what I think about it. We pretty much took care of business today. It was a good win for the Vols, very good win. Absolutely fantastic. The coaches allowed them to run the football. We had Big Tim Jordan in there doing a good thing. We got our guy, the linebacker got ejected for a targeting late in the game, which is just terrible because I think he has to miss time playing in Alabama. He won't get to start because of the targeting. That's kind of bad. He knew he did the wrong thing when he went over the sidelines, and CJP was trying to find him over there and said, you know what, son, you just ain't going to be able to do that kind of stuff, and that got us in trouble. 423-702-6894 on the call-in show, 423-702-6894 on the call-in show. Give me a call. Tell me your thoughts. From what I saw, it was just a pretty solid victory. Bottom line is we won the football game, and that ain't easy to do. Winning a football game is hard. Mississippi State comes in there. They got a good football team. They got one of our ex-guys, Stoops, I think, running the defense or something over there. And, he wasn't too happy to come in there and take it on the chin like he did. Boy, the Dogs fans, I tell you what, they're in complete disarray and disbelief over this thing that just happened to them down there. South Carolina coming in there and beating them. I think South Carolina had them beat more than once, really. Had a chance in overtime to kick a field goal and beat them, and the guy missed it from, I don't know, maybe 35 yards, something like that. So, but eventually they missed a kick, and that's kind of unusual for Blankenship, but that's kind of how it goes sometimes when you play bad and you get poorly coached, like the Dogs. 423-702-6894, 423-702-6894 on the Vols call-in show. Give me a call. Tell me what you think about it. From what I can tell, we played really good. I thought this was a solid performance, especially on the coaching staff. They got the defense ready. We stopped their run. The only thing they really could do was scramble the quarterback, and he was never going to beat us. We rushed the football extremely well today, especially hats off to Tim Jordan. Tim Jordan's got 11 rushes for 70 yards, I think, something like that. Chandler was pretty good. He was the second man. So Gray got in there and did a little something. Juwan Jennings got a rush for 20-something yards on one play. He was going to throw the football and wound up it was covered, so he took off running. Bottom line is the Vols win today, win big, and it was a fantastic win. 423-702-6894. 423-702-6894 on the call-in show. Vols Talk Live after the Mississippi State win, October the 12th, 2019. In this game, it was pretty much a dominating Vols victory. We used 2 quarterbacks against them. It just about broke the first guy's neck. The second guy comes in there and just handed the ball off, which is what the Vols need to be doing all season. We ran the football really well, over 200 yards rushing. Big Tim Jordan's rumbling, stumbling down and through there looked pretty good. He got about a 12, 14-yard touchdown rushing. 423-702-6894 on the call-in show, 423-702-6894. The Vols up their record to 2-4 this year. I think that's the last game we're going to lose. We're probably going to win out. I'd say we'd win the East. We'll probably win the SEC championship and go to the title game, where we would dominate anybody and everybody that we ever faced, because clearly we got the best team in college football. The Georgia Bulldogs go down in one of the worst coaching debacles I think I've ever witnessed in the history of college football. Kirby Smart, they need to get rid of him. I mean, they got this dude down here. Maybe y'all can call him back. Let's see if I can find it here. Let me see. If I'm a Dogs fan, I'm probably looking back into my speed dial, and I'm going to maybe see. I'm going to say maybe see if we can't find this guy. You know what I mean, Dogs fans? I think you need this guy back. He would have won that football game today. 423-702-6894, 423-702-6894. I know all the Dogs fans who typically chime into the show, they are really sad today. They're not probably going to be calling in today because they're so sad of what happened down there today at the hands of the South Carolina Gamecocks, which I do not look forward to playing them again. Them guys are going to be tough for the Tennessee Vols. Good news is they're playing at our place, which maybe South Carolina maybe run out of luck, and we're starting to find our stride. We got Maurer in the game today early. He threw a couple of good balls, and he threw a couple of picks into double coverage. Both of the throws were in the end zone, which, I don't mind that so much. You lose one down there, it's not the worst thing in the world. We should have run the football a lot more today. We finally did when we got Garantano in there because Maurer got hurt, so Garantano comes in the game. 423-702-6894 on the call-in show. I got an open line right now, or you can call myself. You know what it is. Let's see. Garantano comes in the game. They handed the ball off umpteen straight times in a row, which is a good thing. I was so glad to see that. Run the football, run it into the stack. If you don't get a first down, punt them down there in the hole. That's kind of how we did it today, and that was a winning game plan. So that's why we need to play football. Should have been doing that all year. Finally, we needed to make a play in the passing game, and Garantano made a couple good plays, even though I'll tell you the truth, he was kind of a little bit late with some of them throws, and it's kind of a miracle that he didn't get sacked. I think he did get roughed up a time or two. 423-702-6894 on the call-in show, 423-702-6894. Vols Talk Live call-in show after the Mississippi State win, which is a huge win, October the 12th, 2019. I'm going to go ahead and sing Rocky Top for you one more time. Rocky Top will always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top. Woo! Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. All right. Vols win big. I'm sure we're going to have the Kirby Smart memes. Right now, we're going to go to the phones. You're on Vols Talk Live after the Mississippi State win. What did you think about it?
All right, Mike. I missed the game. I didn't see it today. Comment on what you perceive how the offensive line managed to sustain a running game. Talk to me about the offensive line and how they're playing, in your opinion. Are they getting better?
Well, let's look at it this way. First of all, them guys on our offensive line, we got a bunch of them, But them guys on our offensive line are all 300-pounders, and they all been playing football their entire lives, okay? So they know how to play football. And it's far easier to run the football than it is, for an offensive lineman, because you're firing off the ball and attacking forward. When you're trying to pass block, you're getting back in your stance, and it's a little bit tougher to do. So the pass blocking is harder than run blocking. And, of course, you also got the scheme in there with they got various tight ends, sometimes 2 tight ends in the game, sometimes wing and a tight end in the game. So you got, in a lot of cases, 7-on-4 at the point of attack with your running game. And when you do that, those guys can double team, and, they're learning how to release off the block and get up to the next level and get a piece of the linebacker, and that's the reason the running game was going. And, I think we could have done it all year. I think we can do it. We got good running backs, and it's just easier for the offensive lineman to do a run block than it is pass block. So that's what I'm looking at.
When you look at the running plays that are called by the coaching staff, how effective are the blocks in as far as opening up holes for guys to run through? Are those guys speedy enough to take on some of the more talented defensive lines that we're going to face?
Well, I think the main thing is the best thing that they're doing is they're firing off the ball and making contact with the correct person, and they're sustaining that block. So they're staying on them. The mistake that the offensive linemen make in a running game, and a lot of times when you got, linemen that aren't that good, they'll fire off the ball and hit the guy one time, but then they come off. They don't stay with the guy, and so therefore the defensive lineman can make a play. So our guys are staying with the blocks, and they know they've been coached up pretty good in that running game. We got a pretty good scheme, especially when the tight ends come in there. We're not running a lot of trap plays. It's pretty much straight ahead blocking. We'll wind up with 2 wide receivers and a double wing formation with no tight end in there. That's a good running formation for us, and we can run both directions with it. So, I like to run a game like that. It's easier to do. You can double team. If you got a really badass guy up front on the defensive side of the ball, you can put 2 guys on him and kind of control him pretty good too. So it's just 7-on-4 most of the time, and then you slip somebody up to the next level and make one block on the middle linebacker. And now you got our running back on a cornerback or something, and that's a good matchup.
The targeting call today by our linebacker, I didn't see that play. Describe that play.
He was obviously, it was our linebacker. Huh?
Some of the targeting calls I've seen called, I got hit harder in 6th grade.
Well, they're trying to change the game, and they just don't want any hits up around the head. So that's what it's all about. But he come in there late on a pass rush. He was blitzing from his linebacker position, and he had a pretty clear shot at the quarterback. And, of course, the quarterback is sitting in his stance and turning the ball loose about the time our guy gets there. So our guy's got his hands up and just hits the guy high, and it was kind of a face mask to face mask kind of a hit. It didn't seem to be intentionally terrible to me, but it was, a violation of the rule because he got his headgear involved in the other guy's face mask, and that's, that bad part about it is not only did he had to come out of the game, but now he's got to miss part of the game in Alabama, and he's probably our best player we got on defense.
How's the defense predominantly that the Vols are playing? Is it a 4-3? Do they have dedicated 4 down linemen most of the time? How's that working out on obvious running situations? Or what I'm saying, how do you view the linebacking core so far on the run?
Oh, it looks good. Batuli and Toto both are playing the run great. We shut that guy down today. The Mississippi State main running back averaged 1.2 yards a carry. So, we literally shut him down. And
what about our defensive safety? Did he get hurt today?
I didn't notice it. I didn't notice anybody getting hurt on that side of the ball. But again, I was working while the game was on. I didn't see the whole thing. I was watching a lot of it on my computer. But yeah, I thought we played pretty good on the backside. I had 4 interceptions. So I mean, that's the best defensive performance we had all year, no doubt.
Comment on the interceptions where the quarterback had pressure on him.
A little bit, but he threw into double coverage most of the time. I mean, we had the safeties reacting to the place where the guy was going. So you had somebody covering him initially, and the safety comes over there in perfect position, and now that ball's coming in there, and we got 2 guys there, and our guys play pretty aggressive on going after the football in those cases. So I mean, that's really. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna look up that stat and see if I can find it here. To me, that was. I mean, I would say that Coach Pruitt would say that was the best thing we did is win a turnover battle to that level. Was certainly the best thing we've done all year, and of course, it resulted in a 20-10 win here. Let's see if I can find that. I had it here somewhere. Now, for some reason.
Hey, let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
Do you ever call targeting on the coaches? Like, remember Coach Day? He's calling slacker.
Hey, Woody Hayes would have got thrown out of a game for targeting, wouldn't he? You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I watched mine.
Yeah, man, that was back in the day. You know what I mean? It's a little bit different back in the day, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Hey, what is the level of experience in the Tennessee Vols secondary? Are they sophomores, freshmen? What are?
Let me see. We got one guy, that Nigel Warrior. A lot of people don't think he's that good, but I think he's a senior. Let's see what the depth chart shows. I think we got a lot of young guys playing though. I think there are 67 freshmen or sophomores. 67 freshmen or sophomores. Let's see. On the defensive side, we got a freshman defensive tackle. We got a freshman kind of a outside linebacker. We got a freshman outside linebacker. We got another freshman. There's 4 freshmen, 5 freshmen on the defense starting, a sophomore. You got a couple seniors. Batuli and Darrell Taylor are both seniors. They're pretty good players. Nigel Warrior is a strong safety. He's a senior. So it's a pretty young group. Some of them are going to be out of there, but everybody behind them is all freshmen, sophomore. So it's basically a very, very, very young team at this point. And they played good today. Really good. So, all right, brother. We'll talk to you later. All right, 423-702-6894, 423-702-6894, 423-702-6894 on the call-in show. We're going to split out right now to a message from one of our sponsors, okay? Howdy, y'all. This here's Mike from down at Mike's Golf Shop, where we buy golf. That's right. We buy golf clubs. Come on down here. Sell me your golf clubs. And you can go online, mikesgolfshop.com or webuygolf.com. Use our online system. It don't matter where you are in the United States or around the world, you can sell me your clubs, okay? So now back to the program. Okay, thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. 423-702-6894 on the call-in show, 423-702-6894. We got an open line right now. Just going to be on the call-in show for just a few more minutes. If you want to call in, chime in, tell us what you think about it. The Vols had a dominating win today. The Georgia Bulldogs go down. Florida Gators are going down tonight in the East, so that East is a wide-open race. It looks like the Vols are going to win. And I would say we'll get to the SEC championship. We'll clearly beat LSU in that game and wind up going to the BCS series, win the national title. for the Vols in Coach Jeremy Pruitt's second year as head coach. Now, I really don't have any idea who will be our quarterback, but it looks like Garantano coming off the bench is pretty good. You know, I kind of like what he did today. He came off the bench. He played like he's supposed to, but the best thing was the coaches calling runs. And then we'd throw when we had to, see, and Garantano made a couple throws, even though they were a little bit late. We wound up with a touchdown pass there to Tyler Bird, 40-yarder that kind of finished the thing. 423-702-6894, 423-702-6894 on the call-in show, or call my cell phone. Basically, we got another couple minutes. Anybody wants to call in, feel free to call in. Tell us what you think about it. Bottom line is Tennessee wins the game today. They go 2-4 on the season. We're probably going to win the rest of our games, win the SEC championship, and go to the national title game and win that too. 423-702-6894, 423-702-6894 on the call-in show. We just about got another minute. If nobody wants to call, I'll sing Rocky Top one more time. Rocky Top will always be home, sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top. Woo! Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. All right. Okay, folks. Appreciate y'all calling in today. We had a heck of a program today. And Vols win the game today against Mississippi State. And the Big Orange breaks into the top 20. We're headed to number 1 in the nation. The Big Orange. Woo-hoo-hoo!